Hi, this is Kristen here. Welcome to another process video. Today I am working on day 28 of 30 days of sketches with Christy's Beautiful Life. And the sketch doesn't have like a lot where, I guess there's like maybe 3 clusters of embellishments, but I kind of interpreted it as like mostly mixed media with some pictures on there. So this video is a little bit longer because I do keep in the fact that I kind of started to go one way with this layout and then kind of pivoted, although really like looking at it, it's not that much different. So I don't know. I probably just kind of should have just stayed with my original idea, but I wasn't feeling it. So this paper that you see here with the stars on it is actually Vicki Boutin mixed media paper. So it came in a paper pad, and I think there were like 2 or 3 sheets per each mixed media. So I didn't feel like doing mixed media, and so I opted to use pre-made mixed media. And the border paper that you see me working with is actually from Simple Stories Vintage Linen Market. And so I was going to border that. I've got a 6x6 paper pad here that I'm working with from the same collection. And I started to layer these pieces up behind the paper, so you'll see that here in a minute, kind of going for a distressed look. And I don't know if it was too busy, if I felt like it was clashing with the border paper that I had. I just was not feeling it. So I really kind of struggled with it for a little bit, really was trying hard to stick with my original idea, but I just could not make it work. So I have to leave this part of it in, just because, we all have days where we struggle or we're not really feeling maybe some of our layouts or how we're starting. Or sometimes, just the vision of it isn't quite translating. So I really like this chipboard frame. So that was included in the Simple Stories. I got that in the June mystery box. So it came with a lot of, quite a bit of vintage linen market. And in fact, the 6x6 pad, sorry, my voice, came in that mystery box. So I was going to try to work in those frames, and I almost wish I would have kind of gone with that idea, because I looking at it now, I think it was cute, but I think I just wasn't sure how I was going to embellish it. So I'm still here on the struggle bus trying to figure out what the heck I'm going to do with this. And I think some of it was just the border paper. I wasn't really feeling like it was matching. And I really did not go away from this entirely until I started getting ephemera thread on there. And then I was like, I'm just not feeling that. So now that's when I'm like, I've scrapped it. I'm just not really happy with how this is looking. So this darker star background that I gutted the middle of it. I think I bought that. It's kind of got gold foil, or not gold foiling on it. It's more like silver foiling. I bought that, I think, at like Hobby Lobby or something like that. So I gutted it, and that is now going to be my border. The strips of paper that you see there, the red, that was actually a photo play paper, and it was a whole entire 12 by 12 piece of paper that had like white and red alternating strips of paper. So I just cut the red off of it, distressed it with my nails, and then and see, you can see the back side of it had stars on it. So I end up using that to kind of ground my pictures a little bit more, since I was kind of like, I think the reason why I wasn't liking the initial was because all the papers like lined up behind it. I kind of felt like it was looking a little too, I don't know, busy, I guess. And the photos I'm documenting are of my daughter from a couple years ago. We just had 4th of July here. My husband typically will go up, and we have fireworks right up near us, so he'll go to the fireworks store, buy a bunch of fireworks and set them off. So, and usually we have family over, friends and things like that. So usually the guys are all getting in on setting off the fireworks. So I stay far away. I used to help set them off, but then I got burnt by one. So I'm just going to decide how I'm going to arrange the pictures here. and I decide I like that. Now this is an old cardstock sticker set. I don't even know who the maker is. I don't have any paper to go with it, so it must have been just kind of a one-off that I liked. But I mean, this has probably been in my stash for at least 10 to 12 years, so. And I kind of like the muted tone of it. I feel like it's kind of matching the muted tones of kind of the photo play paper and all that. So I backed her photographs in, I think it was just Red Star paper. I think it might have been Echo, oh, I think it was a Cartabella or an Echo Park paper. And it would have been like one of their kind of 4th of July papers, so. And I've really been trying to intentionally stash bust. Every time I've done a layout here with the 30 days of sketches, just because it kind of makes me think outside the box. It's so easy, like when you're trying to come up with scrapbook layouts, you know, on your own, like, you know, kind of your own ideas. I mean, not to say that this isn't my own idea, but it's, you know, you're going off of a sketch, so it's kind of gives you an anchoring point. Whereas if you're just kind of like pulling papers and pictures and kind of just trying to come up with something on your own, I feel like it's a lot more difficult to stash bust in those instances, because I feel like a lot of time it's so much easier to just grab collections that all go together. And a lot of time these older collections, I feel like back in the day, they weren't as coordinating as they are now. Or you didn't have like as much, I feel like ephemera wasn't as big of a thing. Or it was kind of expensive, so. And so these stickers that you see me putting up, those are all from that cardstock, that older cardstock sticker set. And then I've determined that All American that you can see there, that is going to be my my title. I'm gonna have to fashion girl, because that's what I wanted, was All American Girl. And so you'll see that here in a moment. Now for ephemera, I had picked out the sticker packs from Echo Park, and they had like a lot of cute I mean, a lot of the ephemera was the stickers from that were kind of like, you know, had like kind of a vintage feel, but I think because the papers were muted, it just, sometimes I have a hard time using cardstock stickers, and tell me if you have the same issue. So I'm not somebody that really likes super shiny paper. I will use it, but I tend to like more of a matte look. And even like my photographs they're kind of like a semi-matte. They're not like, you know, a true glossy. So sometimes I have a hard time using stickers, because especially with this, like it being more of a vintagey kind of, I think, distressed look to it. Like the shiny stickers, I just felt like were kind of sticking out too much from kind of like how this was looking. It just didn't gel. Which is why I picked out that that sticker pad, the old one, because it had more of a, you know, it was a matte, you know, it wasn't, and the colors were a little bit more toned down on it, whereas like the sticker packs that I was looking at had more bright and vibrant colors. So I do end up pulling back out some of the ephemera from the vintage linen market, because I'm like, well, I feel like it works fine now. Again, I don't know if I just wasn't feeling it because it was too much papers layered up, that I felt like the pictures were kind of getting lost on it, or it was looking a little too noisy. I don't know. So all of this ephemera that I'm picking out now is all from Vintage Linen Market. Some of it I had already purchased. Some of it was from a Color Rush kit, and some of it came in the warehouse box I just got. So I'm actually going to put a cluster here up at the top left, and then I do another cluster at the bottom right, which you won't really see the cluster on the bottom right until I move the camera. And so I'm going to start getting everything adhered down. So like I wish there was a way that you could like tone down like glossy stickers. I don't know, maybe there's like a way to kind of distress them to make them look more worn or old, because I feel like that's some of the problem is that like the sticker sets that come in some of these kits, like especially if it's kind of like a more distressed or vintagey look, it's kind of hard, I feel like, hard to work them in. Now granted, the Echo Park ones that I had, they obviously don't go along with this ephemera, so I don't know, I just felt like because they were so shiny, it just didn't gel with kind of the look I was going for, I guess. So has anybody ever distressed cardstock stickers to make them look more worn or old? I really need to maybe try to see if I can search that on YouTube and just see if anybody ever has. I'm just gluing all of this down because it's kind of easier to just get it stuck in there and then glue it down. And this sticker set, it's just foam stickers, and it was a set that I bought at Joann's before they had closed. So I think this is just thickers. And so you can see I've got girl. I'm pulling blue stickers off of this sticker set here, and that is where I get girl from. But the problem is that it blends in a lot with the stickers and the lines that I had stuck down there. And then I didn't like All American next to each other, so I adjust that. And then I'm like, okay, well, maybe it'll work a little bit better here if I position girl here, but I still felt like it was kind of getting a little bit lost. And because the font was different, something about it was just kind of bothering me. So I wanted to do something a little bit different there. So I pulled back out the sticker set, and I'm kind of trying to like look for a label or something that I can put girl onto that would kind of make it look more like it was intentionally, done, that it was a different font, rather than it just be that I didn't have stickers that went with All American. So I ended up finding this kind of polka dotted sticker, and I think it was like meant to be a tab so that you could like fold it over, because it kind of had like almost like a split down the middle. You can't really see it there. And I just decided to put girl on top of that. I felt like then it looked more intentional. And I don't know that I would have cared if girl was in a different font. I just that it was so much smaller than the other two. So, and I guess I could have done something on Cricut and cut it out, but I was kind of really not feeling like, doing all that. So, so I worked with what I had. And initially I was thinking about doing like more of an Americana kind of clusters. But again, I don't have like a ton of 4th of July or kind of Americana die cut pieces. And I typically like to really use die cuts. Cardstock stickers, again, are kind of a difficult thing for me to use. I don't know why. I don't know if it's because they're, you know, a little bit smaller, or I really wanted to try to use some of them on here, but I just didn't like them on here, so. And so those are the couple clusters up at the top and the bottom. Now, I don't know that the sketch really calls for that. I've kind of at this point gone away a little bit from the sketch, but it's okay. I didn't really like that orange because I felt like it was kind of, you know, don't really have orange on the page. So I ended up just sticking a sticker over it from that muted old set of stickers that I had. And that's a little postage stamp over there that I think it had the Statue of Liberty maybe in it. And then I'm trying to figure out where to work in this red, white, and blue because I thought that was appropriate considering her outfit. So I'm kind of trying to move that around the page. I thought I liked it tucked in here, but I didn't like the fact that it was blocking the leaves from the flowers there. And then I didn't like the fact that it was blocking a lot of this tag, so. And I just knew I wanted to work it in there. So, see, I go back there again. I'm like, okay, do I want to block the leaves? I'm like, I don't really like blocking the leaves there. So I settle here. I'm going to go ahead and glue it down there. I had to glue it to this one because I had moved it around so much. I had actually peeled it off from a spot, which I didn't show on camera because I think I had it originally in front of the leaves and really didn't like that it was blocking the leaves. And I'm just going to pull in some puffy sticker stars here off of this same, this is the same sticker set that the All-American came from, so. And here is the finished layout. I'm actually pretty happy with how it turned out. Despite the fact that it kind of wasn't quite, I guess, what I had envisioned, but I feel like it turned out fine. I really like the mixed media background, and I got another set of pictures documented. And I thank you for coming by to watch another process video.